Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, a movie named after a character that doesn't show up till roughly 40 minutes into the film.
Oh, my back!
The main character is Charlie. The book knew this, but the producers looked at the script and the kid they hired and quickly realized that Charlie is a little bitch.
You basic.
And decided to name it after the eccentric sugar drug salesman. Fun fact, they named it Willy Wonka so they could sell a bunch of candy bars. I'm not joking, that was the whole reason for this movie, was to sell candy. There goes your childhood. And yes, of course, I'm talking about the one from the 1970s. Not that really upsetting one that proved that Tim Burton was empty inside and that Johnny Depp couldn't act.
Worst film you ever saw? Well, my next one will be better.
To say this is a strange movie would be a lie, because it's actually a strange as fuck movie. A part musical, part experimental acid trip, part child torture. Hey, that last part's fine with me. But don't look at me like that. Kids are stupid. Now I know what you're thinking, because this is so many questions, what I'm really going to focus on is Grandpa Joe being a grifter, finally giving up his long con just because he has a chance to eat some chocolate. But I feel like that one's been taught to death. Or the boat ride from hell, and I ain't talking about Robert Wagner. Or the fact that you can't run a contest based on a monopoly where people have to pay to play. That's a big legal no-no.
Help. Police. Murder.
No, I'm going to focus on what most people just seem to be okay with. The fact that Wonka allows kids to be humiliated, hurt, and to be honest, probably murdered or die. Wonka's looking at about 3 to 5 for third-degree manslaughter. He's going to be spending a lot of time in prison, so I hope he brought some everlasting gobstoppers. And that one Oompa Loompa that knows how to bake a cake with a shiv in it.
Anybody get to you yet? Hey, we all need friends in here. I could be a friend to you.
And look, I know this kid sucked, but if I killed every kid that I thought sucked... My lawyers are telling me not to say anything else. Alright, now that that's over, let's meet our murderer's row. First up is Augustus Poop. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being told that it's Gloop. The name is actually Gloop. With a name like that, I'm sure there's no way that he's fat. And yep. His only characteristic is that he likes eating candy. I'm sure it makes it easier to laugh at his torment later. Character traits are for real movies. Next up is Veruca Salt. They named her Veruca Salt because she's quite salty, which is a good way to go to describe the fact that she's a rich, snobbish girl. After all, this is a kid's movie and they wouldn't want to name her Veruca. Next up is Violet Beauregard. Violet likes chewing gum. Good for her.
Well, I'm a gum chewer normally, but when I heard about these
Up next is Mike TV. Fun fact, his original name was Mike Vibrator, but they changed it to get a PG rating. You guessed it, this little shit loves television. And this is a world before Taxi, All in the Family, and The Mary Tyler Moore Show. What the hell did this little shit find so entertaining? Howdy doody? And last we have Charlie Bucket, whose photo in the dictionary is under the word for vanilla. Not like vanilla ice cream, which is delicious, but more like vanilla extract. Disgusting on its own, but give it enough other ingredients and boom, you have a delicious cake. The kind Augustus Poop would eat.
Ja, das ist gut.
Let's start with Augustus Gloop. And not just because he was the first person I mentioned, but also he is the first victim of Wonka's jigsaw nightmare factory.
Grandpa, look at Augustus.
Don't worry, he can't drink it all.
Augustus Gloop is chugging a bunch of brown water like he lives in Flint, Michigan.
Please, I beg you, Augustus! My chocolates!
Well, maybe the chocolate river shouldn't be in a room where everybody can just touch and eat everything like some kind of sex dungeon for children. Oh god, I really just did say that, didn't I? Now I really am canceled.
My chocolate!
Maybe a guardrail might have helped there, Wonka?
Don't just stand there, do something.
Help. Police. Murder.
I know he's supposed to be nihilistically dismissive over Gloop's situation, but isn't he being kind of a for this drowning child situation?
Bring Charlie here.
Look, Augustus, grab this.
So Augustus's entire life is dependent on him grabbing a giant candy lollipop?
What's happening to him?
It looks like he's drowning.
Oh, it's too late.
Too late.
He's had it now. The suction's got him.
Good to know. Enjoy shitting and pissing in that chocolate river out of fear. Forget human hands. Oh boy.
Where is he?
Watch the pipe.
Wasn't Wonka freaking out a second ago? He seems awfully calm now. Is the idea of a little fat Austrian boy drowning in his tube giving him an everlasting knob stopper?
You terrible man.
I mean, she's not wrong. I mean, the child probably wasn't killed. Probably. But he was deeply emotionally and physically scarred. If Wonka plays it cool, they just might not sue. Maybe. I mean, all Wonka has to do is just not play a song about what a big, fat, selfish piece of shit he was.
What do you get when you guzzle down sweets?
Eating as much as an elephant eats.
Finito!
That's all.
That's all? Don't you know what this is?
My gum, it's gum.
Wrong!
Yeah, you dumb.
This little piece of gum is a 3-course dinner.
Bull. No, roast beef, but I haven't got it quite right yet.
Between this and his TV technology later on, does Wonka not hold some of the greatest inventions for, science, hunger, famine? Maybe this chocolate bar asshole ought to, give out some of his secrets to, scientists.
I don't care.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't.
He really is getting off on this, isn't he? I bet he hopes that she gets so big she goes subatomic.
It's hot and creamy. I can actually feel it running down my throat.
That's what she's...
No. That's a child. Sorry, R. Kelly.
Hey, the second course is coming up. Roast beef and a baked potato. Mmm.
With sour cream?
What the fuck was so funny? What the fuck is he so proud of himself for?
Cream, it's the most marvelous blueberry pie I've ever tasted.
Holy Toledo, what's happening to your face?
Cool it, Dad. Let me finish.
Do you think you could ever be on such a roll that when someone says, "What the fuck is wrong with your face?" you tell them not to interrupt you?
Yeah, but your face is turning blue. Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
I mean, not to nitpick here. I mean, well, actually, to nitpick, that's kind of my job. She's more blue than Violet, isn't she? And that is the biggest problem with this movie. It's that right there.
Violet, what are you doing now? You're blowing up.
I feel funny.
Not surprised.
What's happening?
We're back. Today we're talking about the fastest growing weight loss program in history. In its first 8 weeks, 250,000 people started it.
Happens every time. They all become blueberries.
You've really done it this time, haven't you, Wonka? I'll break you for this.
Oh, well, I'll get it right in the end.
I know Wonka is supposed to be like a zen-like overlord of manners and decorum, but as far as Violet and her father know, she's about to explode. Could you show just a hint of decency, Wonka? Fuck.
We gotta let the air out of her quick.
There's no air in there. That's juice.
Juice?
Would you roll the young lady down to the juicing room?
Wonka, wait, all I'm saying is that maybe you should talk to your lawyers first.
For squeezing. She has to be squeezed immediately before she explodes.
Explodes?
It's a fairly simple operation.
Then why are your minions singing a song about how big of a twat she was? Isn't time of the essence?
I've got another.
Hey, Daddy, I want a golden goose. Here we go again.
All right, sweetheart, all right. Daddy will get you a golden goose as soon as we get home.
No, I want one of those.
Wait, am I the only one that's surprised it took her this long to be a selfish twat? Daddy, I want a haunted existential nightmare boat powered by post-traumatic stress disorder.
Wonka, how much do you want for the golden goose?
They're not for sale.
Name your price.
Dead ass.
By the way,
What?
I want a feast.
You ate before you came to the factory.
I want a bean feast.
One of those.
Did she say bean fest? What the fuck is a bean fest? Is this some kind of English thing I don't know about? Does this bitch want to go home and eat a can of kidney beans? What the fuck is a bean fest?
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
And if I don't get the things I am after, I'm going to scream.
Does anybody have a tranquilizer gun?
Don't care how I want it now.
Where's she gone?
Where all the other bad eggs go. Down the garbage chute.
Will you shut up and listen to me? Shut down all the garbage bags on the detention level, will you?
Oh, the garbage chute. Where does it lead to?
To the furnace.
Okay, I've held off until now, but Wonka just let a kid die, right?
Hold on! Veruca! Sweetheart! Daddy's coming!
I mean, I don't know about Daddy, but Veruca Salt probably looks like...
I want a ball! I want a party! Pink macaroons and a million balloons.
That confirms it. Wonka is a murderer.
Wonkavision, my very latest and greatest invention.
And now it's time for my digital cable offerings. I mean, TV.
It's television.
It's Wonkavision.
How does this have anything to do with candy? I mean, seriously.
So I said to myself, if they can do it with a photograph, why can't I do it with a bar of chocolate?
Now, I'm no entrepreneur, but wouldn't a chocolate bar that size just be a giant loss in income?
Lights, camera, action!
Can remove your darkness.
Where's the chocolate?
It's flying over our heads in a million pieces.
What god have you forsaken, Wonka?
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
There it is. Take it.
How can you take it? It's just a picture.
All right, you take it.
It's real.
So you just use this to transport candy from one place to another for someone? If so, do they have to have a TV without a screen? I mean, without a screen, TVs stop working, right?
It's delicious. It's just gotten smaller, that's all.
It's perfect.
I mean, where does this end, Wonka? What if a dictator asked for a mini version of the president?
Mr. Wonka, can you send other things? Not just chocolate, I mean.
Anything you like.
What about people?
You need to stop playing God, Mike. Technology is not your oyster. I don't know what you're up to, but...
Look at me! I'm gonna be the first person in the world to be sent by television!
Mike! Where are you? He's up there, in a million pieces.
Jesus, titty fucking. Did Wonka not just turn her son into X's and O's?
I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. Wow, what a wild trip that was. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Should we tell him it'll also be his last?
Don't worry about a thing, Mom. I feel fine. I'm famous. I'm a TV star. Wait till the kids back home hear about this.
Nobody's gonna hear about this.
Where are you taking me? I don't want to go in there.
Do you think there's a chance you might run some errands on her way home, forget her kids in the bag, and just place some groceries right on top of them? Killed by a heavy can of manwich. That's how my grandpa went. So Wonka has hurt people, ruined lives, played God, and possibly outright murdered people. And yet, everyone leaves after their lives have been irreconcilably destroyed, just for Wonka to do some light paperwork. Charlie is like, whatever, you're a sad, narcissistic hermit slave owner with a Napoleon God complex, and quite possibly have bipolar disorder, so fuck you and your unsettling sugar-filled false utopia. And Wonka decides, hey, I just changed my mind. Literally out of nowhere. You can have my chocolate factory now. Cool.
My boy. You won! You did it! You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would!
They go into Wonka's elevator. I'm sorry, Wonkavator. This guy can go Wonka himself.
This is the great glass Wonkavator.
It's an elevator.
It's a Wonkavator. An elevator can only go up and down, but the Wonkavator can go sideways and slant ways and long ways and back ways and square ways and front ways and any other ways that you can think of.
There it goes.
Hold on tight.
Houston, we have a problem.
Hold on, everybody. Here it comes.
That's what she said.
So the factory's yours, Charlie. You can move in immediately.
And me?
Absolutely.
What happens to the
The
rest?
whole family. I want you to bring them all. But Charlie, don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he always wanted.
What happened?
He lived happily ever after.
One minute, 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.